we're going to look at is John the Ripper in this demo. What John the Ripper is a password cracking tool. It's from Solar Designer, and not only does it crack Windows passwords, but it cracks Unix and Linux passwords too. So that's what we like about John the Ripper. So in John, if we do a dir, these are different files we have available. As you see, we're using the Windows version, so it's using Cygwin, which is just a port to make Windows run Unix and Linux type based tools. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to run it in test mode first. So if we do a John --test. Now bear in mind we're in a virtual machine here with a small amount of RAM and on an old Windows XP machine. It's just to show you that even though we're on that lower end hardware of what we have today, it still works. So what John does is it's going to go through and do a test of all the different types of password hashing algorithms that it has in its database. And he's going to do a prediction and tell us how many crypts per second he can do against the different types of hashing algorithms. So the first one he gets done with is a traditional DES used in common Unix operating system, 3.36 million crypts per second. Then he goes and he does BSDI next. So BSDI is 108,000 crypts per second. FreeBSD is 8,300 to 8,524 crypts per second. OpenBSD, which uses Blowfish, is only 651 to 656 crypts per second. Kerberos, very popular, even used in Windows today. He can do 378,091 crypts per second. And now in Landman. In Landman, as we start looking here, this is scary. There's a K there. So this means he can do 41.6 million crypts per second on this hardware against the Landman Windows hash. And this is why we always tell everybody to make sure you no longer use the Landman hash. Okay, so that's the test mode of John the Ripper. So let's look at it in the cracking mode. So if we go John and we do pass, which is our password file, John loads 13 passwords, and look how fast John the Ripper cracks these passwords. As you can see, he's cracking these passwords extremely fast. And this is where John the Ripper excels. Not only does it do Unix, Windows, and other passwords, it actually can do very fast cracking. And remember, it can configure. So you can configure John the Ripper to start at the minimum password size. So if you know the minimum password size is, say, 8 characters, you can start at 8 characters. So as you see, it's going through. Now, you're probably wondering, what exactly is this 1 and this 2? That means it's the first 7-byte chunk. Remember, in the Landman hash, it has 2 7-byte chunks. So what John the Ripper does is break it into 2 7-byte chunks. So the first 7-byte chunk is represented by a 1, and the second 7-byte chunk is represented by a 2. And John the Ripper is a very powerful tool, and it's one you might want to take a look at. And this concludes the demo of John the Ripper.